Giant pumpkins. Giant pumpkins. Have you ever seen a giant pumpkin? One so big it would not fit in a car? People all over the world have taken up the hobby of growing giant pumpkins. Growers compete against one another, hoping to break the record for the world's largest pumpkin. In 2013, Tim Matheson from Napa, California, won the title with a pumpkin that weighed 2,032 pounds. That's how much a walrus or small car weighs. The gigantic squash measured more than 17 feet around. World's biggest pumpkin. Matheson grew 3 giant pumpkins over 6 months in 2013. His pumpkins set world records for the first, third, and fourth largest pumpkins ever grown. Matheson won more than $50,000 in prizes for his pumpkins. He showed his record-breaking pumpkins to the world on a national television show. While growing them, his daughter, Tara, joined her dad in the pumpkin patch every evening. Tara cannot walk or talk because of a rare medical problem. "She is my inspiration," Matheson said. "I took her out to the patch every night for 2 hours, and she'd be smiling." Once Matheson started growing giant pumpkins, they got bigger every year. He said using the best seeds, soil, and plant food was his secret. Matheson shares the seeds from his prize-winning pumpkins with growers all over the world. He hopes kids will grow their own giant pumpkins. "It's amazing to watch the pumpkins grow," he said. "Some days they put on 53 pounds. It's a lot of fun." Growing a winner. According to Matheson, anyone can grow giant pumpkins if they understand what pumpkins need. Pumpkin growers make sure their soil is rich with nutrients. They use compost and other organic matter in the soil. Rich soil helps pumpkins grow quickly. Growers use seeds that are known to produce giant pumpkins. They plant them indoors in the spring, often in April. The plants can be hurt by cold or heat, so they must be protected. Matheson used heaters to give his pumpkins a head start in the spring of 2013. Once it was warmer, the plants were moved to a sunny spot in the garden and carefully watered and fertilized. Growers prune the plants, or cut away extra vines, at least every other day. When flowers appear, they are pollinated, and the pumpkins start to grow. The best pumpkins grow on strong, healthy vines. Growers are careful not to use too much plant food. Pumpkins can grow too big and burst. When they are the size of softballs, all but the best pumpkins are cut off the vine. As a result, the plant food reaches the most perfect pumpkins. Matheson spent 2 hours every morning, working in his pumpkin patch. After he came home from work, he spent 2 more hours in the garden every evening. He fertilized, pruned, and cared for his 4 pumpkin plants all summer and into the fall. There can only be one. In October, growers with the biggest pumpkins meet at weigh-offs around the world. It is an exciting time as growers wait to see who has the biggest pumpkins. For winners, the long months of planting, pruning, and watering and care pay off. Their giant pumpkins are some of the biggest in the world. Growers use forklifts and trucks to transport their pumpkins to weigh-offs. They carefully use ropes, straps, and chains to move their pumpkins at weigh-offs. Pumpkins are weighed on giant scales to see which is biggest. After contests are over, growers have creative and delicious ways of using their pumpkins. Pumpkin boats. Some growers in countries around the world hollow out their giant pumpkins and turn them into boats. People use paddles to race the boats. Sometimes they wear costumes during the races. A man in the United Kingdom set a speed world record in 2013. He paddled a hollowed-out giant pumpkin 100 meters, about the length of a football field, in 2 minutes. Gigantic jack-o'-lanterns. Giant pumpkins can be carved into silly or scary jack-o'-lanterns. Some carvers use power tools to create works of art. Giant pumpkin pie. Some giant pumpkins are used to make huge pies. Growers of giant pumpkins in Ohio baked a pie that was named the world's largest in 2010. It was 20 feet wide and weighed 3,699 pounds. That's a lot of pumpkin pie. Growing giant pumpkins can be a fun way to spend time in the garden. Maybe someday you will grow the world's biggest pumpkin in your backyard.